While it's clear that Rock's ambition was to become the king of the world, what was behind the formation of the Rock's pirates? The original version describes it like this: Muki Banashi. By interpreting this Japanese phrase, we can get a hint about what the Rock's pirates were up to. Another significant mystery is why they went to God Valley. There's still scarce information about God Valley, but I can at least ascertain that the world government was involved. So was Rox trying to overthrow the government to become the king of the world? Sure, it's highly likely that, but I think there was another purpose in going to God Valley. They were making a deal with the government. And I think I was the key person at that time. By the way, did anyone notice something off about this scene? You might realize it if you compare it with this one. If you just noticed it now, please let me know in the comments. I explain this in detail in this video. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Dawn Dusk. Through this channel, I'd like to share theories and analyses about One Piece, including plot developments and Oda-sensei's thought process presented in the original language. The owner of this channel also teaches Japanese. If you are interested in Japanese, please join my Telegram chat. We send information in Japanese. In any case, I hope to be able to grow this channel together with you, as true Nakama. The recent chapters of One Piece are painting a picture of the global situation, uncovering the actions of the four emperors, the world government, and the Revolutionary Army. After the break, it's likely that the narrative will circle back to the Egghead event. We're finally poised to witness the Egghead incident that sent shockwaves across the world. However, we still have one thing left to unravel in the Egghead saga. Why did the world government accept Stussy as a member of CP0, even though she was a member of the Rock's Pirates? My answer is, as I've mentioned before, Vegapunk handed over Miss Buckingham Stussy's clone to the government when the government acquired Mads. According to Yanji, Mads was taken over by the world government. So it's highly likely that the government brought Stussy into CP0 after obtaining Mads. The key players should be the government, Mads, and the Rock's Pirates. Why? Because we can find many hints about their relationships in other One Piece chapters. So I'd like to discuss the connection between the government, Mads, and the Rock's Pirates. Let's delve into the chapter where Sengoku sheds light on the Rock's Pirates. In a more natural, direct translation from the original manga, his statement would read something along the lines of, "The Rock's Pirates is a group assembled for a profitable deal." The term Muki Banashi is typically used within a business context in Japanese. However, if you're living in Japan and a stranger approaches you with a Muki Banashi, be cautious. There's a significant chance it could be a scam. A friend of mine lost about $10,000 due to one such deal. I'm sorry, I digressed. Anyway, if Rock's only intention was to seize the treasures and weapons concealed by the world government, there would be no need for the phrase Muki Banashi. Hence, it's plausible to think that Rox was conducting business with someone or some organization. This organization could be Mads and the world government. First, let's take a look at the past of Mads. The title of the cover in Chapter 1072 in Japanese, it's written, Mass-Produced Murder Weapon. Why did they have a need to produce these lethal weapons in such large quantities? It's possible that these weapons of mass destruction were simply crafted out of the personal ambitions of Caesar, Judge, and Queen. However, the question arises, why the need to manufacture them on such a large scale? Likely, much like Germa is currently profiting from engaging in wars, they could have been exporting these weapons to some organization. The question is, to whom? In my view, it's possible that Mads might have sold those weapons to the Rock's Pirates. Do you remember why Vegapunk turned down the invitation to join Dragon's army? Research funding is a major reason. Mads was funded by Lefeld, but even though Vegapunk was in the science team of Navy, Atlas complained about not having enough funds for research. Therefore, as another source of funding, he could have provided weapons to the Rock's Pirates. Vegapunk appears to be a pacifist at heart, but he supplies the world government with pacifistas, Seraphim, and Mother Flame. So, the Rocks pirates could have struck a deal with Mads. Mads provides weapons to the Rocks pirates. In return, the Rocks pirates provide the genetic factors of the Rocks crew members. That's why Mads could create the clone of Miss Bakingham Stussy using her genetic factor. Given that, according to Marco, Whitebeard and Miss Buckingham Stussy shared a ship nearly 40 years ago, and with Sengoku revealing that the Rocks were active pirates more than 40 years ago, it all seems to add up. Vegapunk might still possess the genetic factors of other Rocks pirates. In line with this hypothesis, the Rocks pirates could have been aiming to sell the weapons, crafted with Mads technology that they had obtained by offering their treasures and genetic factors to the government at a steep price. This would be a profitable deal. But is it possible for pirates and the government to strike a deal? In Chapter 929, Orochi tells CP0, buying weapons from pirates to fight pirates. What a strange idea. Indeed, CP0 was conducting a transaction with the 100 Beast Pirates and Doflamingo through Orochi as an intermediary, and they did actually buy the weapons from pirates. Additionally, in Kaido's flashback, Higurashi says in the original version, "In this world, weapons do the talking, and I have a good deal." It's clear that in the world of One Piece, weapon exports are a surefire way to amass wealth. In fact, Kaido managed to acquire wealth and power by accepting Higurashi's proposal. He leveraged his financial power to buy a large number of smiles, further bolstering his military strength. So, the good deal for the Rocks pirates could also be selling weapons to the government at a high price. While it's not confirmed yet, it's highly probable that Kurozumi Higurashi had ties to the Rocks pirates. I suspect she sought to replicate the profitable deal that the Rocks were engaged in, utilizing Kaido's power and the technological expertise of the Wano country. To support this theory, I'd like to show you one thing. Look at this face. It might be the face of a young Miss Buckingham Stussy. It looks just like Stussy, who is a clone. If true, Higurashi's philosophy would align with that of Rocks. Incidentally, Weeble's mother, Miss Bakken, emphasized that money held more importance than Weeble's quest for revenge on Blackbeard. She likely joined Rock's ship, lured by the prospect of profitable deals. So, in my opinion, Higurashi's proposition to Kaido reflects a profitable deal for which the Rocks pirates united. Furthermore, in the cover of Chapter 1072, Caesar is holding a devil's fruit. I think the Rocks pirates also supplied devil's fruits to Mads, because in the world of One Piece, it's more likely for the pirates to be the possessors of the fruits than the Navy. The main reason is that the pirates explore the sea to find treasures. Semimaru, Higurashi, and Orochi each obtained useful devil fruit powers, likely because Higurashi, either as a member or associate of the Rocks pirates, had easy access to these devil fruits. Following my theory, the Rocks pirates also wanted to sell the devil's fruits to the Navy. I think the Navy obtained the Magu Magu, Pika Pika, and Hai Hai devil's fruits from the Rocks pirates, or from God Valley after Garp defeated Rocks. Perhaps there was a planned agreement between the world government and the Rocks pirates at God Valley one day 38 years ago. Then, some negotiations might have been interrupted. This led to the incident. Finally, let's look at Stussy's introduction. In Japanese, when explaining organizations that existed in the past, they have to put the character moto in front of their names, meaning X. For instance, Hancock's introduction. The former member of the 7 Warlords of the Sea. Marco, the former member of the Whitebeard Pirates. Rayleigh, the former member of the Roger Pirates. However, Stussy's introduction lacks this kanji, so this could indicate that the Rocks pirates still exist. But is it possible? In my opinion, while it might seem unlikely, I would still say yes, because I have occasionally theorized that Rocks still exist in different ways. Additionally, Vegapunk's explanation in the chapter 1066 could support this hypothesis. In this chapter, Vegapunk explains, when a person dies, they lose 21 grams of mass. This could be the weight of a person's soul. McDougall's hypothesis is also utilized in the One Piece manga. I'm not sure about our world, but in the One Piece world, the soul might exist. As I've theorized in this video, Brook's Yomi Yomi power isn't revival. His true power could be that he's able to visit the land of Yomi in a state of soul. In this video, I've theorized that Rock's soul still exists and may possess Blackbeard. If you're interested, check out this video. Even if this theory is incorrect, it's highly likely that Rock's soul still exists. Yet, the mystery of the God Valley incident lingers. Aside from Rock's and the world government, the Roger pirates were also involved in this incident. Why were they in God Valley in the first place? I'll unravel this mystery in the next video.